Hey everyone, Mr. Devil here, Kenny Danico, three-time Stanley Cup champion of the New Jersey Devils, and you're listening to the Uncle Puckers New Jersey Devils podcast with Chris, Dan, Bobby, and Tony, the Uncle Puckers. Let's go Devils!
You know, Dan, it's been like 3 weeks, maybe even longer since we had a Victory Saturday show.
I know. Saturday coming in finally.
Finally coming in. We are the Uncle Puckers, Chris and Dan with you this evening. We just finished watching the Devils finish off their road trip in Florida, heading down to God's waiting room and taking 3 out of the 4 points. And tonight, putting a big old kibosh on the Florida Panthers 9-game win streak. You are not getting to 10 because the Devils showed up to play tonight, and we are going to talk a lot about it. Dan, what a difference a goalie makes, huh?
Daws was fantastic tonight. Looked great throughout. He made saves that really lifted his team. Florida probably didn't have the start they wanted, and Devils capitalized early. And, it's a lot of game left with that Devils lead sitting there, 2-goal lead with the way things have been this season against a team like Florida. On paper, you should be a little worried, but Daws was so solid. So, I would say that even early in the third, I felt very confident that they were going to be able to finish off a game with a 2-goal lead against an aggressive team on the strength of, good overall play, but really hot goaltending. I mean, Daws did everything right. He was fantastic. Bobrovsky, I'm sure he wanted a goal back that hurt his team. So that really is, it just takes one little mistake or one save that you weren't supposed to make. And that's what happened for Daws tonight. He was great.
Maybe I have some PTSD lingering because I don't think I was comfortable with that game till about 10 minutes after the third period ended. Yeah. And then I was comfortable that we were going to win. I was just watching this and saying, if this is Vanacek or Schmid, we're done. There's no way we win that game. I honestly believe that. This game we've said it for the entire season, we want a goalie to come in and make a big save for this team when they need it, but we also said, not as much, but it would be great to have a goalie steal a game. And Tonight, they stole a game. He stole that game, and that was so refreshing to watch, finally having competent backstopping back there. And look, you go on the road, you're completely depleted, playing, in my opinion, the best team in the NHL,
right?
In the Florida Panthers, especially the way they have been playing, and you get some greasy goals, like you said, maybe, not Bobrovsky's best effort on them, but those aren't the type of goals Devils are usually score. These were not the pretty goals. These were going hard to the net and for checking and hard work, and you got the goals, and then to be able to closed that game out in the third period, and Florida was coming, man. They were, and Daws just doing what Daws did. It was awesome. It
really was.
Yeah, and this team. I said a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, that I felt that the team was ready to pop, that they were on the verge of something. Jack got injured and everything, but this is a statement game, and not to the NHL, hey, everybody get on notice, the Devils beat Florida, big whoop. It was a statement game for that team, for the dressing room.
Yes.
It was, we played a great game, beat one of the best teams in the league, and we did it without, A, B, C, D, and E, and they had to play a little different, and they got it done, and it was a really good game, and they frustrated Florida tonight. Daws frustrated the hell out of them.
Yeah, this is the way to play, that is more playoff-like than some of the more beautiful, efforts they had this year with pretty goals. And these are the kind of, this is the style of game you have to play if you want to be successful in a playoff series. So, I'm definitely excited to get all the people back. We have to get back, but I hope that this mentality is going to linger when that happens, because this mentality with the talent that's returning is going to really carry this team far. it was a great effort from everybody. I mean, I saw guys like, going that little extra, playing super hard. I'm thinking about Holland making a diving poke check to clear that zone. I'm just thinking about a lot of the strong end board play. The penalties, they were kind of bad calls. So, really, nobody killed us with penalties. Brendan Smith, he did a good job staying out of the box. And even the people, even the call on ball, I didn't think it was such a great call. So I can't even blame the player. They just played a good, clean road game. I'd like them to start playing that at home, and I'd like them to start playing it with a full roster because it was really good to watch. I mean, they've had prettier games, but this was a great effort. Giving me a lot of hope for the future.
Yeah, I mean, if you could put together the hard-working kind of, physical, gritty play that they've had the last two games, I'll even go back to the Vancouver game, maybe the second half of it, and put that together with good goaltending by Nico Daws, and then you add, like you said, the Jacks, the Meyer, Palat, and you can get those pretty goals and all that other stuff. I mean, it's obvious our power play is a shell of itself without Jack. So that's something that if he doesn't get back soon, I think is going to end up hurting us a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder if they even trying to adjust for it because they just know they're never going to come close. So just wait for him to get back. Try to win games on the strength of your 5-on-5 play and a decent penalty kill.
And they are right now, as of the end of that game tonight, they are in playoff position. They are the second wild card right now in a crazy, ridiculously tight division. But, we go over some of the games tonight. Every team was playing tonight. So the Rangers lost to Washington. So the Rangers are in a bit of a skid here. They've lost 4 in a row now. The Canucks beat the Buffalo Sabres 1-0 today. The Ottawa Senators beat the Sharks 5-4. We beat the Panthers 4-1. Once again, the Oilers are rolling. I think they've won now 10 or 11 in a row. They beat the Canadiens in overtime 2-1. Flyers beat Winnipeg, who was playing an amazing game, 2-0. Man, this Flyer team, it's not going to go away.
I am so shocked with that this year. It's one thing I did not see coming. Is a competent, dangerous Flyer team.
They're not going away. Seattle Kraken beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 7-4. The Red Wings are now starting to come to life. They beat the now oddly struggling Los Angeles Kings 5-3. The Lightning beat the Ducks 5-1. The Hurricanes beat the Penguins in overtime today 3-2. The Avalanche beat the Maple Leafs 5-3. And the Coyotes and Wild, Arizona is up 5-0 over Minnesota at the end of the second. The Bruins and the Blues are tied with about 15 minutes left in the third.
The Isles were tied with the Predators.
They're still tied at 0 with about 14 minutes left in the third. Blackhawks are up over the Stars 1-0 in the third, and the Golden Knights and the Flames will be starting in about 2 or 3 minutes as we record this at 10 o'clock at night.
Big
so that's a huge hockey night. A lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of these teams that we need to jump on. We got some things go our way and some things not. But once again, it's not about what the other teams do. Take care of your own business and they'll be fine. What is that? You having a party up there?
Apparently we are.
Nice. So as of right now, we have a game in hand on the Islanders. They're sitting above us with 48 points. We have 47. The Flyers, man, we have 3 games in hand on them, but they have 52 points already. So, I mean, they're 5 points ahead of us. The Hurricanes, and they're only 2 points ahead of the Rangers.
Wow.
So the Rangers have 54 points. The Hurricanes have 53 points. The Flyers have 52 points. Then you go to the Islanders 48, Devils 47, Capitals 46, Penguins 46. This is a crazy division.
That's a logjam. I mean, there's no way knowing which way this is going. That's for sure. So, like you said, Devils take care of Devils. And I think Devils fans know that this team has what it takes to do everything they got to do to get in the playoffs. It's just a matter of will it happen. And you got a lot of positives. Despite the injuries, you got a lot of positives. I do like the way they've responded to all these injuries of late. I thought they would have a little bit harder time with it than this. I thought
agree.
they'd be a little closer to 500, but I don't know what the winning percentage over the last 8 or 9 games is, but it's better than that by a lot. Right?
Yeah.
Where are we at? I didn't count them, but it's pretty damn good. They're over 75%, right?
Yeah, over the last 8 games. Yeah, I think so. I think they had it before. It was out of the last 20 something, we're 13, and I don't remember exactly, but we've been doing pretty good over the last half of last quarter of the season. They have been playing a lot better, but I think a lot of these teams, Islanders, Flyers, Tampa Bay, teams that are ahead of us, even teams below us like Washington, saw that how depleted we were, how awful our goaltending has been, and they probably, that's red meat. We can just, these guys they're not gonna do shit. And if you can keep your head above water until these guys get healthy, yeah, I think every Devil fan thinks that this team can go on a run. I think they're gonna go on a run. And doing it without Jack, doing it without Timo, that is so good for the confidence of the rest of these guys. I thought that third line tonight I thought they played fantastic.
So
tonight.
Strong, yeah.
Yeah, and we rolled 4 lines a lot more tonight than we did against the Lightning. The kid Bowers and Willman had a lot more ice time, at least to the eye. I haven't checked yet, but that's what it seemed like.
It did. I love that. I love the way Nico played. I mean, he played like a leader tonight. He blocked shots that really they were huge. In fact, that last one it was really big because that's the kind of thing. As good as Daws was playing, if they get that goal to come up within one, I think with about 5 minutes left when that happened or something like that. I don't know if they hang on to the lead the rest of the way because it would have been like a little bit of a crusher, and it's a whole team thing. They've seen it before. So, as much as Daws was the man tonight, the team played well around him too when they had to, really making the effort to do that. Things like those block shots. That's not happening by accident.
No, and we don't do that a lot. So the fact that we did block a lot of shots tonight, and we have been, just even my problem, when you're playing a really hard forechecking team, we just cannot get the puck out of our zone. Florida was on top of us all night, and it's
the one goal they did give up, that was that kind of play,
right?
And there was 4 or 5 shots on goal, a couple opportunities for the quick clear, but coughing it up, and eventually it did result in the goal that Daws was never going to do anything about that, and a hell of a pass to I guess it was Reinhart. Who made the pass? I can't remember. It was between the legs, backhand pass.
It was Verhage.
Yeah, right. And good effort on him. But and
it was on a power play. So
yeah, that's true. Or exactly. And they only had a few more seconds to kill.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple times they had chances to maybe play even a tighter road game. Where you're just clearing the puck. You got a lead. You're clearing the puck, and some people find that less interesting to watch. I get it, but that's what you want to do for a road game is give the other team nothing. But they did damn close to that tonight.
Well, before we get into our predictions for the week, I just the balls on this kid Daws. He went for the goal. You saw it, right? He went for it.
He did.
That would have been so amazing.
Close. Yeah, that definitely would have been amazing. I did like that. He had 2-goal lead, so nobody's gonna, freak on him for trying. It wasn't like he risked a 1-goal lead. So I love that he did that. Definitely. I can't remember the last time we had a goalie go for it. Vanacek's never gone for it, right?
No, I think the last one has to be Marty. That I can remember.
Schneider maybe once. I can't remember it, but I feel like it had to have been once, right?
And not that I can think of. I'm sure if Bobby were here, he would know exactly. Yeah, I wasn't. To be honest with you, I was not following the Devils that much during the Schneider years. I wasn't watching a lot of hockey then. Like we talked. I've said it before.
I know we haven't scored since Marty. That's for sure. No. I'm almost positive about that. I don't even think we had any really good close calls. Schneider, Blackwood, Kincaid. I don't remember them ever putting anything close to on that. Maybe they went for it once or twice, but I can't even remember that.
I did not realize just how good Nico Daws is at playing that puck. He made a couple of plays on that puck that were just perfect passes, just really smart with it, and he plays it really, really good, which is such a huge asset, especially on the penalty kill, having a guy like that.
Yep.
I really like Daws a lot, and I just, which, there was an article that was just posted today, or I don't know if it was posted just today, but I saw it today. And it is on New Jersey Hockey Now, and this was James Nichols. Okay, so we all know James Nichols. And this is the headline: Devils goaltending hits new personal and NHL low. So the New Jersey, this is after the Tampa Bay game, so yeah, it's fairly recent. New Jersey Devils goaltending situation continues to reach new lows. Following the Devils' 4-3 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning on Thursday, goaltender Vitek Vanacek leaped Toronto Maple Leafs goaltender Ilya Samsonov with an NHL worst minus 13.42 goals saved above expected via Money Puck. Vanacek is dead last among the 87 goaltenders that have played an NHL game this season in the statistic, and it's seemingly not going to get any better. So the Lightning rung Vanacek up on Thursday for 4 goals in just 20 shots. He made 16 saves, accruing a negative 1.72 goals saved against expected. In other words, the Devils should have won last night. So he goes on about Money Puck shows that although Luke Glendening scored 2 goals and one was an egregious error by Luke Hughes, an average goaltender is likely bailing out the Devils on at least one of those low-danger goals. Glendening's first goal had a 6.4% chance of being scored, and his second just a 6.5%. And the overtime winner by Darren Radish, the chances of the average goaltender allowing that goal was 3.1%.
All right, before we go on, I just got to say, like,
this is what I want to hear from. I want to hear from you.
These like numbers, I don't. Okay, years ago we did not have these stats, but it's kind of like a crowdsourced information above expected. They're doing it based on a formula that I get it.
Kind of arbitrary though.
I mean,
I think say sometimes he should have stopped that.
Right, and that's what it comes down to. So the way they go about that is, I think it's fair. It's fair in the sense that it's a formula. Like if the shot is taken, and they try to program different situations into that model, right? And then they come up with something that at least is fair as far as evenly applied to everybody, right? So it's not like it's a worthless stat. I'm not saying it is, but I think sometimes they get it wrong. And I will tell you that. Look, dude, when you're a defenseman, like on the Luke Hughes he coughs up the goal, and the guy basically has a breakaway 15 feet in front of the net. He rips the shot. Like, you're not expecting too many goalies to save that one. So I got to argue about that one, as that's an expected, that was even more expected than the other. I don't think so. The larger point is well taken. We know this. We've said this. Any individual game, I could tell you why it's not all on Vanacek. It's a team thing, but you got to look at the whole story. And we've had half a season to play, and we haven't seen Vanacek or Schmidt steal us many. I want to say any. I don't know, close to any games this year. They've been competent in many games. They've been given no chance on quite a few. But then there's this gray area that makes all the difference. It's like the ones where the team did not play well in front of you, but you stole the game. That's an NHL quality goaltender that's going to take your team far. We have not had that. That's not to be judged in one game, and we haven't just seen one game. So, like, stats on one game are kind of, I can argue with them on that, especially one specific goal, as if Vanacek should have stopped that, basically giveaway to a breakaway the other night. But it doesn't matter because the overall point is correct. I can't argue with it. Just based on what I've seen, it's maybe more intuitive than, I don't have stats for you. But I think fans watching this and knowing what is, what's been the trend, I think they understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really disappointed in Vanacek's play this year. I just don't get it. I don't know what is. And again, yes, the defense has not been playing good, but again, you'd take a night like tonight, right? I thought the team played really good. They allowed a lot of shots, 30-something shots on goal. You're also playing a team that just has a motor running 24/7. They don't stop, and if Vanacek is in goal tonight, we do not win that game. And I'll even say if Nico Daws was playing Thursday night, we would have won that game. I believe that.
At least with the performances given, definitely.
What, you look at every game that Nico Daws has played so far, he has played really good.
We're dealing with a small sample size. So like what I said about the trends applies to him too. And we don't have enough for trends, but I like where it's going. And, we're on the right track. You just got to keep it going. I hope that it that nobody drops the ball. I hope he doesn't come out and lay an egg, of course, but because that's going to shake the team's confidence in. But I hope the team at some level realizes, okay, we play well with this guy. Let's keep it going and not take, nights off defensively, because it could take a really bad performance from the team or the goaltender to kind of sever that really positive relationship they got right now. It's a two-way street.
The thing that worries me is that Lindy Ruff will keep on playing Vitek Vanacek more often than he should, in my opinion. That's the thing that worries me. Like, you look at Seattle, the Kraken were struggling all season, right? And one of their biggest problems was Grubauer was not playing to the level he was playing at last year. So, it looked like they were just going to fall on their face. They have rolled off, I think, 9 in a row now or 8 in a row now. They have, and it's all on the back of Joey Daccord. And this kid comes in, and he has been playing phenomenally for them, and they're getting the timely saves, and they're winning games. So you don't take the guy out. You let him play the lion's share of work, and that's how I feel about Nico Daws right now. He is the only goaltender that has played for this team this year that I actually have confidence in. And even if he has a bad game or so, I still have more confidence in him right now than I do with Vitek.
Sure.
So I'm just worried that Monday night, Vitek Vanacek will be in against Boston. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. You look at the schedule for next week, and we play Monday, we play Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. In my opinion, Friday night should be the only game that Vitek Vanacek gets.
Yeah, I think that would be where I'd go into it. And I might change on the fly if I don't like what I see on the first 2 games. But that's actually, or at least even in the first game, let's say. But that's actually what I was thinking, the same thing, that I would, if it was up to me, I'd play him 3 out of 4. I don't think so, but I don't want to jump on my predictions, but I am thinking he's going to get 2 of 4 starts. That's one of my
good segue.
predictions.
Good segue, Dan.
Yeah.
So let's do our predictions, okay? So every Saturday, me, Tony, Bobby, and Dan, we make 3 predictions for the upcoming week, and we keep score. If it's a basic prediction, like so-and-so will have a goal and an assist or whatever, it's 1 point. If you make it a difficult prediction, you need more than one thing to happen, you kind of make a multi-leg parlay, we give you a hat trick. And right now, Tony is leading all of us with his predictions. He doesn't really take too many chances, but that's how he wants to play the game. So we'll start with our accountability session, which is our predictions last Saturday for this week's games against the Lightning and the Panthers. We'll start with myself. I have gone now 2 weeks without a point. And
maybe this week.
Yeah. Devils will be awarded a 5-minute major penalty out of these last 2 games. I said it. It was a hat trick, and it didn't work. I said that
spirit, but it did not happen.
No, I said that Andre Palat would return in one of these games. I was so wrong on that he's not even. It seemed
like he was the most likely to come back.
I thought so.
At the time, right?
And then the next day they said that it was Timo Meier that was most likely to come back. So I was like, fuck, I put in
bastards.
Yeah, I said that.
Blame Amanda Stein. That was her report, right?
Yeah.
I like to blame her for everything.
All Amanda Stein's fault.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so I said that this is a bad beat. Michael McLeod will record both game-winning goals, or just any games that the Devils win.
Oh yeah,
Michael McLeod would have the game winners. Okay.
Okay, wait. So yeah, so you said wrong. I'm trying to remember. You said that any game the Devils win, the game-winning goal is going to be Michael McLeod.
Yes. Now
that's such a hard thing. Were we going to give you 3 for that, right?
Yeah, it was a hat trick.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say that's such a hard thing to do.
Listen to this bullshit, okay?
Okay.
Thursday night. They're tied at 3. Whose goal gets called back?
Oh shit!
Michael McLeod's.
You were close. You were so
tonight
too.
the second goal.
The goal
they thought it was McLeod, and it ended up they gave it to Bratt.
And it went off Brad's skate. It was like
went off Brad's skate.
It looked like maybe it went off the goalie.
That's a bad beat, dude. I should get a point. Bad beat point.
Oh man,
that was so close.
I can't believe you were even that close. That was awesome. I'd be willing to give you one just for being close to that monster bet. That's crazy.
I know. I thought I had it, but I was wrong. All right, we'll go to Bobby's accountability. He said that the game against the Tampa Bay Lightning would go into overtime. Bobby got a point for that.
How do you know?
He said that the Devils will score 2 power play goals against the Tampa Bay Lightning. We didn't score any.
Nope.
Bobby also said that we would lose tonight against the Florida Panthers.
Oh, come on, man.
All right, we'll go to Tony. Tony said that Graham Clark will score a goal. We saw Graham Clark for about 4 minutes since he's been up. He said that Jesper Bratt will score at least 3 goals in the next 2 games. And he said that Dan will get no points. I'm not going to ding that one until we do yours, which happened right now.
Yeah.
Dan, you said that the Devils will get 2 or fewer points this week.
So close.
You said
I had bad vibes, but it turned out good. So bad for me.
Devils will get a shutout, and I thought tonight you were going to get it. I'm watching this. I'm like,
I'll be honest with you. I'm making that bet all the time because I can't stop making that bet. But this is the first week. Last week was the first week I was like, this is a stupid time to do. There's only 2 games,
right?
And the way they're playing and the teams they're playing, I don't think they're going to get a shutout. Then this game happens, and it's like, dude, we could get the shutout.
I thought it was going to be tonight.
It looked like maybe.
Your third and final prediction were that the Devils would be 100% on their penalty kill this week. Unfortunately, that is still a thorn in our side, a pain in our ass, and which then makes Tony's Dan will get no points this week.
Point for Tony. He's what's the scores now? He's in the lead by what?
So the updated scores are Tony has 13 points.
Wow.
You are in second place with 10. I am in third place with 7, and Bobby is last with 6. So Bobby and I are scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Right.
Now, since Tony, what's that?
Tony's pretty amazing at these games. I don't think he can be beat. You know, he's like an idiot savant, or like half of that. I don't know. I'm not going to say.
Yeah, just half that.
I don't know which half.
I do. So here we go. This week's games, we have the at Boston on Monday, back home against the Canadiens on Wednesday. We are in Columbus on Friday, and back home against the Dallas Stars on Saturday. Big week, 4 games. Tony and Bobby, who are not here on the podcast, did text us their predictions. So
nice.
Tony's first prediction is that Nico Hischier will lead the Devils in points for over these next 4 games. He said that New Jersey will score 2 or more goals in each of these 4 games. I could see that. He says that the Devils will beat the Boston Bruins on Monday. Bobby says that Marc-Andre Fleury will be second in all-time goalie wins by the end of this week. I don't know how many he has to get to number 2, nor how many games or what Wild's schedule is and how many games he might actually be playing this week, but that's Bobby's first prediction. His second one is the Devils will go 3-1 over the next 4 games, and that they will not, his third prediction, New Jersey will not announce their Stadium Series jerseys by this time next Saturday.
Oh, boy.
So now let's start with you, Dan, your first prediction for next week.
I am predicting 3 or more power play goals. Now, normally in a 4-game stretch, it's not too crazy of a bet, but I'm a little worried because, we just talked about it. This power play is not what it used to be. I do think they're going to adjust a little bit. I think that in this stretch of 4 games, they could find a way to score 3 or more power play goals.
All right. My first prediction, I think that our run is about to begin, and the Devils are going to go 4-0 this week.
Wow, I love it. That's a ballsy prediction.
I think that's what they're going to do. And Dan, your second prediction, sir?
I'm going to predict that Daws will start 2 of the 4 games. Now, I want him to start 3, but I don't think so. I do think the needle will be moved from where it was, and he's not going to start, the minority of them. He's going to get at least half of these games, 2 or more games.
He should get Boston on Monday, absolutely. He should get Montreal on Wednesday, give VTech Columbus on Friday, and give Daws Dallas on Saturday. I mean, enough with this 1A, 1B. I think just in this 4-game tiny little sample that we've seen of Nico Daws, he's shown us enough that he is the most capable goalie we have. And you need points. He should play 3 out of 4, but because of what we just talked about, I would not be surprised if it's only 2 out of 4. My second prediction is that Timo Meier will return for the Dallas Stars game. So he'll mix 3 more games, but he'll be back against the Stars.
Okay. Now, if he returns before the Stars, do you still get that bet? Did you win?
Wrong.
Okay, so you're saying he can't play until the Stars game and has to be there at that game. That's a tough one, man.
Yep.
I mean, to nail which game he's coming back, I don't know. That might be worth more than 1 point. I don't have anybody else to bounce this off of.
I will give myself a hat trick until
I think so.
the guys say otherwise.
I think it's fair.
They can fight us on it. I think I hope he's back Monday against Boston. But that's what I'm going with. So your third and final prediction is that the Devils will get a shutout?
Well, if I was like Tony, I would turn this around on him and bet that Tony will get a point. And that would be the safest bet instead of constantly losing with this bet I'm going to make, which is the Devils will get a shutout. I am not taking that off the table. Not yet. I'm going to wait for the worst possible time. Like maybe the last prediction of the season, regular season. I'll just drop it, and then they finally get one.
All right. I'll go one higher. I will say that Nico Daws will shut out the Habs on Wednesday night.
Now, is that going to take away my point? Are you guys doing that? I never quite understood.
I don't know if we're going to do that stealing point thing. So right now we'll just keep that as 1 point for you just having a broad shutout, and I think a hat trick for calling the goalie and the game, or no?
I'd say so. Yeah,
okay.
That'd be great.
So I'll say Daws against – he probably won't even play against the Habs, but that's what I'm going with.
Now, the Habs are the Friday night game?
No, Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, no, I want him to play that game, but that's a good point. Boy, will he play that game? If I'm Lindy Ruff, my brain is like a Lindy Ruff brain. Who am I playing next? I think he goes to Vanacek next, to the annoyance of everybody. Yeah, I think he's going to do it, man. I'm just trying to decide. No, maybe he rides Daws. But in that case, if he does ride Daws, even if he plays well, Daws plays well, I think then Lindy's going to play Vanacek against Montreal, and you're going to get fucked.
I probably will.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you with this. It's a tough one.
I'm going to say that if Daws keeps playing, I'm going to look at this with as much common sense as I possibly can. If Daws plays good,
if Lindy Run doesn't.
Right. If Daws plays good on Monday against the Bruins, 1:00 I start, by the way, so everybody can remember that. Don't miss it.
Mm-hmm.
If he plays well against the Bruins, why would you put Vanacek in? Let him play again. If he feels good, just keep him in there. That's what I think. You're looking for points. Your team is depleted. Who gives you the best chance to win? If he's healthy and ready to go, we're not dealing with people made of glass here. He can play more than 1 game in a week.
I didn't hear them talking about he had a successful hip surgery, and maybe they're going to be a little judicious with him as he breaks that in a little bit more, and that'll be a reason they don't play him. I hope not too. I hope he's good to go because it looks great. It's been excellent having him up. It was the right move. When they called him up, I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like we're going back into goalie rotation of 2 years ago. 7 different goalies. Here we go again. But I got to tell you, Daws really looks significantly more matured, seasoned than he did his first stint with the Devils. Maybe that's where, Schmid will be at some point in the future too. I'm not writing him off, but this has not been his year. That's for sure. I don't know if we're gonna or if we even should see him this season. We'll have to make those decisions later, I guess. But love what you see from Daws. Been a huge turnaround for this team.
I mean, and it does say a lot about the development that goes on down in Utica. I mean, the team itself has gotten considerably better since 2021 or 22. But man, this dude looks so good this year. Like, he looks just big in that net. He's making great saves. He looks confident. The team looks good in front of him. Let's just keep it going. And keep Daws in there.
Now, have you ever? I'm trying to think of other than the ESPN TNT games. I don't remember ever, or at least very often, getting 2 color guys in the booth for Devils broadcasts. Do you remember us doing that much at all?
No.
I mean, I guess it was like last game, like out of nowhere, I realized Bryce was in the studio.
Oh, he was still down on the. He was on the.
He
ice
was on the
level.
ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they kept talking. They've been talking to Bryce a lot more during the games lately.
I know, and I was wondering if it was like on purpose, like they kind of wanted another voice in there.
Yeah.
I mean, just it's just a moment to look at the broadcast.
Nothing like another slow, plodding voice during the Devil game.
Well, maybe Bryce is not it, but I mean, do you think that maybe they're listening to the 2-man duo going, we need something else with this broadcast? First of all, I'm not sure that anybody at MSG gives a shit what the Devils broadcast actually sounds like. They had Ken Galossi for how many years?
Ken Galossi.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. We were in Kanji Town. It was awful. But, I like Spalding. Spalding is Spalding. He's not like, nobody's Doc Emmerich. We're spoiled beyond belief. It's weird to say this, but I think maybe Danico had a little bit more chemistry with Kanji at this point. Exactly. I think that it's been long enough that these guys are going to have whatever chemistry they're going to have. We've seen it already, And there was a little thing like last game. I forget. I don't know if anybody remembers this. I want to say it was the second or third period, and they talked about how somebody bumped into somebody and something spilled on Ken's suit, and he got all upset.
I missed this.
Oh, it was great. I don't know what it was. It was like his some beverage that he was holding. They're either in a tight booth, on an away game, and versus Tampa, and I guess something spilled on him, and he sounded like he was like really perturbed about it. And then Spalding kind of like snapped at him, like, "Well, that's what dry cleaners are for," and, which I was just like, there's this little second of silence where I thought Danico was gonna kill him. Like we just heard choking sounds, and that's it.
I hope there's tension in that booth. That would be awesome. But it would make sense if there's tension in that booth and they're saying, let's get Bryce in to maybe. Right. And it was always Danico kind of throwing it to Bryce. Like, and like, he didn't want to talk to Bill. He wants to talk to Bryce.
I don't know. Yeah. It's weird. It's kind of weird. And like Danico has been a little, like he seems still tense lately. I don't know if it's just me. Sometimes I watch a game, I'm wondering if I'm just reading something into it or not.
No, he's a little off. He definitely seems a little off. And like you said, Spalding's Spalding. Like, I think that he's just,
right.
I missed that with the dry cleaning thing. But I want to get back to them. But before I forget, did you see what happened with the color guy in Colorado?
Oh, no. What happened with this?
There's actually a video of it. So the play-by-play guy dips, and the color guy went to grab his drink, and he grabbed his spit cup, and he took a big swig of it during the game as they're calling it.
To do.
Oh, my God. Wait, you did that, right?
Maybe, but I wasn't on air.
No, it wasn't on air, but that was years ago, right? The pool hall.
It was a million years ago.
I remember that.
I think I might have been the self-intended victim of that. I did that to myself. That's not pleasant thing. That's for sure.
No, and you could see like.
So he freaked out on the air. He was like,
no, he was very professional about it, and the play-by-play guy is trying hard not to laugh at him for doing it, and the guy looks like he's about to like throw up, and he starts taking swings of his drink, and he's spitting in a garbage can, and he's all grossed out, and the other guy's calling the game and looking over, and you just see a grin on his face, like, you dumbass, you just drank my spit. But man, that's so gross.
That's hilarious.
But maybe there is some tension there. I don't know, man. I kind of noticed a little last season. I
thought maybe they were getting to know each other, but I feel like this is it, dude. We got what we got with these guys.
Yeah, I think that when we said this when Spalding first started, like, you can kind of tell in the beginning, like, Kenny just like really wanted Steve Cangelosi back. You know, you could kind of tell. It was like his girlfriend just broke up with him, and then it seemed like they were getting chemistry.
And then it was just a little generally tense right now. Like the last game with against Tampa, I guess Marino made a play.
Yes.
And then so Kenny, I think, just slipped a little bit, and he was like, "You got to get that out of there," you know. He's got to. And then like he went on for like the next few minutes about how. I'm being a little too hard on him. Being too hard, like he really like overthought it. And I was like, all right, relax, dude. Relax.
Yeah, I also think that he lives and dies with every shift. I mean, he is as big of a Devil fan as you can get. Sometimes that's not a great combination for the color guys. Like it's always fun when you hear like Chico Resch cheering in the background when, they score a goal and he's just happy and you hear the little woohoo, I like that, but Danico like gets angry about
Well, there's an intensity Chico Resch never had. Chico is like very affable. He might get excited in a happy way, but you'll never see him like actively pissed. And Danico is choking back the anger at times, and I get it because that's the kind of player he was. He was not going to sit there and be like, "Oh well, we'll get him next shift, guys." He was pissed, I remember him, spitting through his gap, missing teeth hole just at the rest of the team and the refs and whoever when things didn't go right. He's a warrior that way. So I guess that, it's to be expected. But I do wonder sometimes, like, is there somebody else you put in there? Because let's face it, I mean, any duo, those guys don't know what to say next. Maybe throw somebody else in there. Can you think of anybody that you'd want to see as like a third mic with our broadcast?
Erica Wachter.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen now back in the first round of the playoffs last year. It was another game. Wasn't one of ours. No, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago because we weren't in the playoffs. And Bryce was doing some, color with another team, another game. And Erica Wachter, I heard her it was just for one game. And she sat in on, it was a 3-man booth and she was in it. And I forget what game it was. It might have been an Islander game in the playoffs 2 years ago or whatever. And she was very good. And I remember she was, any time that, the guys were talking about something, getting in the weeds or whatever with certain things, like she was right there. Like she wasn't intimidated at all. She knew what she was talking about. Why not Erica Wachter?
Yeah, I'd like to hear that. Definitely. Cause I don't remember that game. So that means I probably missed it or something, but she's very good at what she does. So I'd like to hear her in the booth, see what that sounds like. Immediately I was thinking about players, and I've always mentioned Gomez. I'd like to see, Gomez come back. I don't know if he would or not,
I think that would loosen Danico up so
exactly.
much.
That's why I'm thinking about it. It's mostly for him, for Danico, because they had like a special little weird thing, like angry
little
dad
brother thing. Angry
dad and his little like smart ass kid. It was that kind of relationship, and I think that'd be funny to get some kind of similar dynamic.
You know what? That is actually, the more you think about it, that's brilliant. I think
it's a little odd couple kind of, but
and
history, and it's fun.
I would love to hear those two going at it because they, Gomer isn't going to hold back, and if Danico does something that I'm sure Spalding just kind of glances over now, like that Gomer would call him out on it, and they would go back and forth. It would be fantastic.
Yeah, it could. I think it's worth a shot. I don't know if he's ever been tested for it because he seemed like he was getting involved at one point, a couple times, and then he backed up. I don't know if they do any testing for this stuff, and maybe it's not for him, but I think he's one of the best former Devil conversationalists we have. So I would love to see him try like a third mic thing with the Devils.
All right, listeners. Maybe we'll throw this out on X and we'll make a little poll out of it. But until that happens, because it probably won't. But if it does, until it does, who would you like to see, if anybody, a third mic? Yeah. Just let us know in any comments, DM us, unclepuckers@gmail.com. Let us know. We would love. I thought originally thinking about just the people that are in the booth now, part of the broadcast now. Who would you maybe bring up? And Eric, it made sense. No, Scott Gomez is the answer. That's the answer.
Yeah, you like him?
Oh my God, I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys I love as players. I don't know if they do well in there, and I think Gomez has a good shot, definitely. Yeah. The only other thing I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if are we running too long for this?
No.
I happened to notice that I wanted to bring up that play involving, and I never did look up exactly what game it was. It was the Tampa Bay Lightning playing against some team. I wish I knew who it was, and it wasn't that long ago, where they tried to pull Vasilevsky, and he basically said, "No, I'm not getting off the ice," and it was kind of crazy because I'm trying to remember if I've seen anything like that. I mean, do you remember a goaltender being pulled off and him going, "No, I'm not doing it"? The only thing that's even close to that, it would be like the opposite situation with Raw I was thinking about, but that's not quite the same.
But it kind of, it is though. He got pulled. He didn't want to get off the ice, and then when he got into the bench, he threw his gear down. He was freaking out. He was screaming and yelling. And then about 2 days later, he was traded to Colorado.
Okay, I got to look that game up again because I agree with you the second half about when he came to the bench. He wasn't even yelling at the coach. He was yelling at the general manager.
Yeah,
like this is the last game I ever played.
Exactly.
It was fucking intense. But my memory of it might be wrong. I thought it was they were playing like shit and they left him out there. And he got shelled like crazy.
I think you might be right.
I don't remember. I got to look up the game.
I think you might be right because that was 1995,
maybe
95-96 season.
Yeah.
The 95-96 season. Because he went to Colorado. Ray Bourque got traded over there from Boston. They won the Cup.
Yeah,
beating the Florida Panthers in 4.
Yeah. Yep. Van Beesbrook.
Yeah, Beezer was the goalie. That was the whole rat thing. They would throw the rats on the ice, and do they still do that?
I don't know, but this, that thing was brought up to something that I follow some goalie-related page on, and they were asking the question, like Vasilevsky saying, "I'm not getting off." What do you think of that? In general, or from if it was your team, what are your thoughts on this? Is this a good thing, a bad thing?
Well, I think. So, all right. So, why was he getting pulled? Was he just having a bad night?
Yeah, and I don't remember. I wanted to look up the game. I don't remember any more context than they were trying to pull him. So I don't know. I guess they wanted to pull him. Yeah.
All right. So he's probably having a bad night, and they just want to maybe jumpstart the team, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So. As a fan, I would love the fire that this dude wants to stay in there, that it doesn't matter. He wants to fight through it. I think there's something there. But at the same time, there's that piece that's like, dude, you're hurting your team and all you're thinking about yourself. Get off the ice. It's unprofessional. Coach is the boss. It doesn't matter what he tells you to do. You fucking do it.
Right. That's the thing.
I can kind of see both sides. I think if I was a Lightning, if it was a Devil player, I'd have a lot more of a opinion on it. But because of just kind of how little that I know of it, I don't really know how I feel about it. What about you?
I was thinking about this, and it, it was like I said on a goalie related page and stuff, and I saw a lot of people saying, I get it. I'm sick of teams just like, oh, we're not playing well, pull the goalie, and I get that because we've seen that a lot. What are you doing, man? The whole team's playing like shit. And this year, I would say more and more, it's really, no, it's not, it's not just getting a fresh start. It's the goaltending hasn't been that great either. So I don't know. It depends. And let's be fair. It's going to matter whether it's your team or not. It's going to matter who the players are. Vasilevsky's a legend. He's got the love of the whole organization and the entire fan base. He could probably pull this move in a way that, well, we don't have anybody who can pull that move in our team.
No.
If Vanacek didn't want to get off the ice, it'd be a what the fuck kind of thing. Because there is a negative. It's a negative even for Vasi to do this because, like you said, who's coaching this fucking team? Like, what's going on? But a part of me likes to look at him as like, this guy's a warrior, and even if he had one goal he didn't like, he's like, no, we're going to win this game. I'm here. That's admirable. I get that. And in fact, if he said, you know what, I just don't feel I don't have it tonight, I'm going to get off the ice. You'd be like, this guy's he's not a player. He doesn't really have any heart, So It's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Or if you are predisposed to it, you're going to like, yeah, that's my guy, no matter what he does, So that's a tough call. It's not something you see a lot of. And then I was thinking, you know what? You fucking see it all the time with forwards. I mean, come on, man. You see guys just hanging on the ice shift after shift. And there are guys I remember back when the Devils had like that strict disciplinarian style, and Jacques Lemaire thought you didn't come off the ice when you should. You might not see another game with this team. Like, it was really harsh. But at this point, we do have Jack Hughes has played the last 7 shifts. Like that. There has been games like that where it's like, do you think that that's coming from the bench? No, that's coming from him. He does whatever he wants, and it's kind of always been that way with superstar players. So why not superstar goaltenders,
This is an article from 8 months ago that says Vasilevsky refused to leave the net despite Coach Cooper trying to pull him after the second period. This was during a playoff game against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
The old news I've got with you.
That's what I'm wondering.
It's possible.
And it says they lost a game 7-2. Like it says Vasilevsky.
Was it after the 7th goal that he didn't want to be pulled?
Yeah, according to insider Chris Johnston, John Cooper attempted to pull Vasilevsky after 2 periods. However, the veteran goalie, who has played every second of Lightning postseason action since 2020, refused. He returned to the cage for the last frame and allowed 7 goals on 37 shots.
Well, now, that really kind of shoots down. That's
isn't old news, because it says there's a tweet on April 20th, 2023 from Chris Johnson saying John Cooper says Vasilevsky refused to be pulled. That's why he's the best in the world. He's not coming out. That's what John Cooper said back in April. Now, is there
interesting.
A new story?
Could be old news.
Well, no, because they brought it up. I heard about it. I heard about it recently too. Like, so I don't understand why they're talking about it now. And this is all from like 8 months ago.
I don't know.
But you
don't see a lot of that though. It's pretty rare for a goaltender refuse to pull.
No, I mean the only thing is even kind of close, like we said, is the Patrick Waugh. But I think I'm misremembering that. I think you're right. I think it was that they didn't take him out, and he was having one of those nights, and he, that's when you pull your goalie. And I don't know if he told the coach at the time that he wanted to come out, and the coach wouldn't do it, but yeah, that was a big fuck you to everything and everybody in Montreal. Like, I am never wearing a Habs jersey again.
He wasn't kidding.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. But before we wrap it up and just talk quickly about the Boston Bruin game, we're going to give a shout out to our Hockey Podcast Network partners, DraftKings Sportsbook. And you can bet on all the action on the ice with DraftKings. And tonight you had all 32 teams playing. So, yeah, you could have laid a whole lot of bets down. And all you need to do is download the app now and use code THPN. And new customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on hockey. That's code THPN only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours.
Thanks.
Bonus bets, you're welcome. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available. For problem gambling, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved.
I liked it better backwards.
Yeah, that was
pretty good. That was highly skilled. Yeah,
that was fun.
I think this time you said boner bets instead of bonus bets, though. You got to go back.
Boner bets?
Yeah.
I'm going to bet on my boner.
It's a hard one to hit.
Ooh. Come on, man. I got to be quicker, right?
Don't do it now. A few minutes from now.
That's not even the right one. Now say your joke.
Boner bets. Ta-da. All right. We're going to work on this timing. Comedy, timing is everything.
I am not quick on the draw here. I think
there's a delay. I hear you clicking it.
Yes.
And then if you're the least bit slow, this thing's making it 10 times worse. Yeah. It's like delay. A second delay. You can't have that.
No. Unless we because then we'll just start scripting the entire show, and then I can nail them every time.
Hours in the editing booth. We'll just fix this, right? We'll fix it in post.
Fix it in post, baby.
Fuck it. We're going to do it live.
So what do you think? We beating Boston? We're gonna keep this thing going? Is this team about to go back home to play the Montreal Canadiens after beating two of the hottest teams in the Atlantic Division without their superstars?
Yeah. I mean, I think they are. I'm feeling positive about it. I didn't make it one of my predictions, but I think we're going to win 3 or 4 games.
Yeah. I think we're going to win all 4.
Yeah, I think that's very possible.
Yes, and we will finally get past a 3-game win streak. We're going to continue it and keep it going. So
that'd be great.
We are going to be back in full force, I believe. I think all 4 of us are around. We're going to be on right after the Boston Bruin game on Monday. So
4:35, something like that.
Yeah, so that show will probably be up Monday night then. So this one will be up tomorrow morning. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Anywhere that you are listening to us, a 5-star review, a positive comment, a like. It goes a long way to help us.
Or a prayer. Just give us a prayer.
Thoughts and prayers.
I just want the prayers. The thoughts mean nothing to me.
All right. Send Dan your prayers, and I'll be good. And for Dan, I'm Chris. We're the Uncle Puckers. We'll see you when we see you.
Puckers out. Delay.
We'll see you on Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah. MLK, 1 o'clock.
And then they moved the Buffalo Bills game to Monday, too, because of the snow.
It's over,
there.
Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
It's over.
So we can actually watch the Devils at 1, the Bills at 4:30, and the Eagle game at 8. So it's a nice, fun Monday. And then we'll get a nice big snowstorm on Tuesday.
I heard about that. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. It's been too long. I can't believe